Still a very good field of Locost though for this 15-minute race, the third and final race of the weekend. Round 5 of the championship. The 5-second board has already been shown. 15 minutes are about to get underway now, and it's an even start then between the two front row drivers, Mark Burton in the red and black car and Jeff Peake in the yellow and black car. They head off down towards Clervaux for the first time. Burton has the inside line. It's West that's tucked into 4th place. Carl Roysenard's up to 5th, Paul Clark 6th, and Garrett in 7th. So the one that's lost out is Martin West by the looks of it then.
Okay, let's check that and say, oh dear, some other drivers losing out for more at Hawthorn. One car doesn't look like it's going to continue, but it's Burton that leads from Peake. West is 3rd actually. Okay. 4th is Roussenard. Andrew Tate, who's much further behind. The championship lead has dropped a number of positions, but for the lead, Jeff Peake gets himself ahead of Mark Burton. Then it's West there in 3rd and Roussenard in 4th position as they turn their way out of Tower Bend. Paul Clark gets a bit sideways, but he's okay. Now the Jim Clark S's. The low-cost races this weekend have been very exciting indeed. Let's hope we can make it 3 races out of 3, which are excellent. And can we have a 3rd different winner as well, if it's to be? Then it's going to be needed the first 2 on the road at the moment that win this race. It could be Martin West then, who is there in 3rd position. Apologies for missing him a moment ago. Andrew Tate is the one, as you rightly say, that stepped back a little bit, and he's behind the 99 car of Ryan Garrett at the moment, as you can see on screen. Down towards the complex for the first time in this race. Probably going to be a 9-lap race. I think that's what we've had for these in the previous couple of contests. So far, no one really getting away from the rest. A long train of cars coming all the way through the complex. There's the 69 car of Greg Smith. Todd Boucher, I think, this year, isn't it?
Yes, Todd Boucher, beg your pardon.
He's making his debut, I think, this season.
Yeah, Greg Smith in 7, although he has previously raced the 69 car.
That's absolutely right. So the cars stream across the line then after 1 lap, and Jeff Peake leads it then into Clervaux from Mark Burton and Martin West, merged their 2 names together. From the back, Simon Walker-Hansel is 14th. This is much better. From row 14 to 14th place, he's passed half the cars in 1 lap, and going with him is Craig Land, who's up to 18th position. So watch out for number 4, Simon Walker-Hansel, who I think is in this group. Is he turning his way? Yes, out of the chicane. There are yellow flags though, that's for the car that stopped after lap 1 in fact. Here's Paul Clark though, he's trying to gain a place on the inside of Cole Roussenard. There's Gary Brandon, there's Greg Smith, car number 7, but here's Walker-Hansel, he's passing this whole group into Tower Corner, so he's gained more positions there. He's into something like 11th now, I think.
That's good going. And there we can see then Paul Clark and Carl Roysenard's disputing this position with Andrew Tate just behind them, so 4th, 5th and 6th, and it's the green car of Clark who had that spin at Tower yesterday that dropped him to the back of the field, although coming back to 10th, and it's because of that, or that's helped him to be here in a manner of speaking. Then you've got Tate there at the back, of course, who's been a race winner this season already, although he didn't pass the checkered flag first at Donington Park in that opening round of the championship. Here are the first 3 though, and then the next 3. Tate up the inside of Roysenard's there. Roysenard's going to try and stick with him because he'll have the inside line for the hairpin, but no, Tate has got that move done. He goes up into 5th position, but actually the top 3 are getting away in sort of slightly ominous fashion now, Josh.
Yes, and on that lap not much happened between the 3 of them. They're still in the same order, Jeff Peake, Mark Burton and Martin West, but Martin West is still there trying to make it 3 different winners in the weekend, and he's right on the tail of Mark Burton as they turn their way through a 1:41.72 there, the fastest lap of the race, which is a new lap record already. That was quicker than earlier, so quick lap there from Mark Burton then in 2nd place, so he's slightly closer to the leader. And are we going to see a challenge this time down towards Tower?
I think we probably are. It's Burton getting alongside Jeff Peake. He's got the inside line for Tower Corner, and he does indeed go through. So the number 26 it is that takes the lead of the race then. Challenge is further back. That's the Ryan Garrett number 99 car trying to get up the inside of Carl Roysenard's there for P6, and he's not quite been able to make that work even on the exit of the corner. They've got Sean Brame as well, number 8 just behind them as well in the sort of red and green multicoloured car. Oh, what a big moment there. Brame it is that's off over the curb. That will drop him behind, will it? The 40 car. David Martin, no, he managed to hold on, but he's just lost touch with the 2 that he was battling with.
He got away with that. It was very close. Pressed pretty much through the Jim Clark. It is that 79 that's come to a stop. Tom Parker was 17th prior to that, just behind Craig Land, who wasn't making so much more progress, in 16th. Simon Walker-Hansel is in 12th. Here's Peak, who's lost the lead, of course, on this lap to Mark Burton, but he's still with him, unsurprisingly. And then in third place is Martin West. This is the end of 3 laps of what should be a 9-lap race. If the other 2 are anything to go by, can Andrew Tate do anything about the gap to the top 3? He's in 4th. Remember, he made that, whatever happened at the start, didn't make a great start. But he is the championship leader. He's 2 seconds behind these top 3, which is headed by Mark Burton into Hawthorne. And they turn through the right-handed corner there. Simon Walker-Hansel is up to 11th. He only gained 1 more place on that lap to get ahead of Greg Smith. That was a better lap from Craig Land, who jumped to 13th.
Okay, continues his progress up the order. We're going to get a challenge for the lead again. Jeff Peak looking at the inside, but he's spotted the yellow flags there. And so he backs out of that manoeuvre. So it's as you were through Tower that time, of the flag being waved vigorously by the marshal. But there's a chance on the exit of the corner, possibly, because out of the window I can see that Jeff Peak is trying to get with Mark Burton. You've obviously got Martin West just behind both of them as well. We're picking up on the battle a bit further back, the one that involves Ryan Garrett and Sean Brame. Sean Brame, I think, has made up a place there, hasn't he, in the number 8 car and gone through. As we're watching here, Craig Land. And where's he got to now?
But he was 12th, but I think he's trying to get he was 13th, sorry, and he's trying to get 12th from Greg Smith, car number 7 for this year, as they turn their way into Sunny. He's got a bit of mudguard damage going on. There's Walker-Hansel just in front, so Walker-Hansel and Land are making pretty similar progress, as it turns out. A bit further up the order, yeah, Brame's done it, I think, ahead of both David Martin and ahead of Ryan Garrett now. So I think Ryan Garrett's really lost out on that lap as they head up towards the hairpin. As they're continuing to battle away. Not far behind them now, of course, will be Simon Walker-Hansel, who actually on this lap has lost a place and a spin out of the hairpin, out of shot. It's Todd Boucher for the lead.
Meanwhile, a change of lead up at Clairvaux. 29, Jeff Peak goes down the inside as 99, Ryan Garrett heads for the pits. So it's now Jeff Peak back into the lead ahead of Mark Burton. And still with him is Martin West, but about a 1.5 seconds clear of Tate. Tate, I guess, might try and bridge the gap from the next pack to the leaders.
He was 2 seconds behind on the previous lap, so that's half a second done. No yellow flags this time, so Mark Burton slipstreams alongside Jeff Peak then to regain the lead. Yes, that's 2 passes in half a lap on this lap. We're halfway through this race, and Jeff Peak's going to try and make it 3 changes within a lap. He's back alongside Mark Burton, but thinks better of it down to the Jim Clark S's. So it's Burton in front. Martin West has had a great view of this race. His onboard camera will be exciting to watch, I suspect, after it, but he's quite keen to move forwards, I suspect, into the second half of this race.
Yeah, see how far he gets. So Burton it is leading. Peak is second and West is third. And this group is 2.5 seconds clear of Tate. But Tate, as you say, was quicker last time through.
Yeah, Craig Land's now ahead of Simon Walker-Hansel. So Walker-Hansel made the early progress, but Land had more pace.
And Tate definitely catching that lead group now. I would suggest so shortly. It's going to be 4 cars for the lead again. In the background, you can see Paul Carter, but Jeff Peak is not going to win this race now because he spins out down there at the complex. So he falls out of that leading quartet. Also a spin for number 21, Kev Straw, as well. But the leading car's going across the line now, and it is Mark Burton leading, Martin West second, Andrew Tate third. Where did Jeff Peak get back on? I think in about 7th place, just between Sean Brame and David Martin.
So we're not going to have 4 cars battle for the lead, unfortunately. It's currently 2, which could make it all rather tactical. But if Andrew Tate joins in, it might make it a bit more frantic, you'd think. There's Jeff Peak then, as you said, 7th place, ahead of David Martin. They turn their way through Hawthorne here, try and get past Sean Brame to get back into 6th position. Behind Craig Land is now 10th and Simon Walker-Hansel 11th. They aren't far behind in this group, so let's see if we can spot them in the group that comes into shot now, which is already headed by Jeff Peak. He's already ahead of Sean Brame, but towards the back of this queue is Craig Land and Simon Walker-Hansel he's really dropped away actually, so it's just Craig Land that's making progress. The TCR stickered car there, you could see, that was Craig Land, who's coming through from the back of the grid. He's into the top 10, but again, Simon Walker-Hansel in trouble.
Off there goes Carl Roycenars, a long way off. That suggests something has broken.
Yeah, the front right corner's broken on that car, that was wobbling about.
Yeah.
Wonder if he hit the curb a bit hard.
Might have done. So he is off. Managed to get that car stopped safely though up against the barrier, so hopefully that's not going to cause too much of a problem for the rest of the race, or indeed for him. You can see yellow flags out of our window as the car has come to rest up there towards City Corner. Here are the leaders at the hairpin, with just about 5 minutes of the race left to go. So they're about to complete lap 6, 3 to go at the end of this one. It's 26 Mark Burton leading from number 94 in second place, and the meatball flag going to number 7 Greg Smith. Then the black flag with the orange spot, that means there's a mechanical problem with the car the driver may not be aware of, and he's required to call to the pits to get that checked over.
Okay, and a new leader. Martin West is now in the lead. We said about how he was just watching Mark Burton and Jeff Peak earlier. Jeff Peak, of course, has spun. Jeff Peak has, though, just set a new lap record, 1 minute 41.72, or equalled Mark Burton's lap record from earlier in this race, both on 1 minute 41.72. But it's West that leads it. But maybe not for much longer. He's urging his Locost to get quicker down in a straight line, but that's not going to work, is it? Mark Burton takes the lead then of this race once again into Tower Corner for the 7th time. There's third, Andrew Tate. His 4th, that's Paul Clark, who's lonely there now, but he's been consistent this year. That's good. 5th is Jeff Peak. 6th is Sean Brain. 7th, David Martin. There's Craig Land. 8th from the back of the grid. What a drive. 9th is Gary Brandon. And the 10th, what's going on with Simon Walker-Hansel today? It's not been great. Is he having more engine issues, perhaps? We heard about that from yesterday. It's not really the kind of progress he would have liked after a really good first lap to this race.
We've got joint fastest lap holders now as well. Mark Burton and Jeff Peak both doing a 1:41.72 during the course of this race. Jeff Peak did it on the last lap. The cars are heading back towards us at the complex. 2 laps to go at the end of this one. It's Burton leading from West, and Tate trying to get back onto these two again. He just about got back onto the back of the trio when he was a bit delayed by the spin for Jeff Peak, and he's trying to reclaw that ground now. So through the hairpin they go. He's nearly there actually, and give it another half a lap and it should be 3 for the lead. And well, who's up for victory then? It could be any one of the 3 of them. Will we get a different victor in the shape of Martin West or Andrew Tate than we've already had during the course of this weekend? There is 26 Mark Burton heading down into Clairvaux for the penultimate time. Then he's got 94 Martin West right behind him. Action going all the way down the order further back as well, I can tell you, but the leaders heading through Hawthorne once again, and through the chicane that brings them onto this back stretch, which has a sort of left-hand kink in it part way down before they arrive at the braking area for Tower. And here it is. You can just see that kink in the road, and Tate now almost with them. No challenges going on there. It's almost like everyone's just biding their time for the final lap of the race.
Indeed. We'll see how it goes. We've got 1.5 laps to go then, with Mark Burton leading, Martin West and Andrew Tate. 4th is still Paul Clark, but he's being rapidly caught by Jeff Peak, who's in 5th after that spin earlier. Here's a change for the lead though. Through the edge is not quite enough for Martin West. He tried it. Didn't pay off this time. That was a little bit of a practice for the next time by, maybe. So they turn their way out of Sunny and down towards the complex, and they'll shortly be starting their final lap. Further down the top 10, 6th is Sean Brain, 7th David Martin, 8th Craig Land, 9th Gary Brandon, and 10th is Simon Walker-Hansel. And it's all about these top 3. Andrew Tate is pretty much there now, Ian, when it really counts.
Yeah, ready to start the final lap of the race. 2.1 miles of Croft circuit ahead of them, making their way through the hairpin for the penultimate lap. Tate makes a bit of a mistake there at the hairpin and suddenly loses a couple of lengths again, so that's not ideal timing. It's West then in the slipstream as they see the last lap board, and they go down the straight towards Clairvaux once again. And it's Burton in the red car, the mostly sort of black coloured car of Martin West in behind him, stays behind him there. We'll probably follow him through Hawthorne and the chicane as well. Will we see the attack being mounted down towards the chicane? Tate seems to have reeled in a bit of that gap once again that he lost at the time that he lost at the hairpin. So out of the chicane onto the backstretch, and I don't think that the second place car, West, is close enough. Indeed, he's going to lose the second place here to Andrew Tate. Tate is alongside now. He's on the outside line though for Tower Corner. Mark Burton is in a good position here. Oh, West just about hang on, actually, from Tate. I thought he was almost certain to lose that place, Josh.
Yesterday's race winner, Jeff Peaks, made another error. He's down to 9th. So as he was looking to catch Paul Clark, it's all gone a bit wrong. Here are the leaders, though. Mark Burton still in front through the S's. They're much closer to him this time. And down to Barcroft. Will there be a challenge? Not yet. Complex it'll have to be then for Martin West. So through Sunny, out they turn. The 3 of them are still there. Andrew Tate trying to keep this 100% podium record turn. As long as he stays on the road, that will continue, and he'll be the championship leader. But it's all about this race for now, and it's Mark Burton with Martin West trying to come around the outside of him. They're side by side here, and I think Martin West has got in front. He had. So it's, can we make it 3 winners in 3 races, Ian?
I think we possibly might be able to, but Mark Burton will try and come back. Will he at the hairpin? If not here, then he'll have an opportunity on the drag race to the line. Bit of a lock up there from 94, Martin West in the lead of the race. Good exit too from the hairpin for number 42, Andrew Tate. It's only going to be Martin West that takes the check flag, so we do get 3 different race winners during the course of the weekend. We get Mark Burton, number 26, his second place finish of the weekend, and Andrew Tate it is that takes third, so he continues his podium record as well.
Fantastic end and entire race, in fact, to the for the Locost Championship here. Martin West taking it in the end. Best colour scheme as well over the weekend, I've got to say to you, by far the greatest one I've seen here. Tell us a little bit about the race, and then tell us again about this this tribute paint scheme.
Yeah, I mean, the race-wise, I've been struggling for unknown reason pretty much all weekend. So my tactic was just to stick behind the 2 front guys and try and get them to pull me home. But I don't know what happened halfway through the race. The car just came alive, and I thought, oh, we're away here. So it was just a case of trying to see where I was stronger than Mark, where he was stronger than me. So I could see he wasn't quite as quick through that last bit. So I thought, right, we'll have a go on the last lap here, see what happens. And paid off. Nice clean racing. We've been racing a while, me and Mark, so it was very good. Very happy. Excellent. So just run us through this paint scheme as well. So this is a Days of Thunder style mellow yellow tribute. Just talk us through this, what the inspiration was and how it's come to be. Well, it's one of my favourite films. I grew up with it in the 80s, Days of Thunder obviously. So I had to sell my old car to help fund my wedding. Managed to pick up another chassis, and when it come to doing a colour scheme, I thought, I wonder if I could get some kind of Days of Thunder theme on there. And there's a guy called David Smythe from Nuclear Vinyls. He's the man you go to if you want your car wrapped. And I said, Dave, do you reckon you could get this on the car? And a couple of weeks later he come back with a few designs. We altered it and done this. Well, you can see the result. It's brilliant. So that is absolutely brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this around your neck. Yep. And then the 2 of us, Days of Thunder style, we're going to have a race down to Parc Ferme now. I'm up for that if you are. Right. Well, we'll see you later, and we'll let you know the result of the race. We going then?